Hi everyone, I'm immigration lawyer John Khosravi. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to go over a lot of information, news, and updates, things that are happening, and taking your questions live as things move forward. So we're going to jump in that in a second as we're logging in on JQK Law Firm's Instagram page, on YouTube where you can watch the recording, both the clips page and the live page, and on TikTok, immigration lawyer John. With that, let's get it started. All right, so the big news that everyone's talking about is President Biden. There's so many videos and stuff on the internet talking about what's going on with President Biden. These changes are coming, everything's gonna get better. Reality is nothing has really changed for the vast majority of cases yet. There's been a lot of talk about Tuesday being the big day of something happening, or Wednesday. It was kind of a flop. It doesn't mean good things aren't going to happen in the immigration sphere, to help immigrants. But all that happened and the stuff he's done is, in the future, we're going to try to do something. The only one thing that really made a difference, I mean, it made it really no difference, but the only thing that he actually did that changed it was a memo he undid during President Trump's time that said when you're doing a family-based immigration case and you have a sponsor there, the sponsor gets notification that the immigrant ends up being a cost to the taxpayers, and taxpayers to pay for, I don't know, health care or something like that. They may come after the sponsor and ask them to pay for it. That's always been the rules. They always get notification of that. So that one change was worthless. The things that he said he'll do is, one, we're going to create some sort of commission to see why people are coming from Central and South America to the United States, and how to help that, how to avoid those kind of stuff. Second, try to bring the children who are separated from their families at the border together, putting commissions on finding this stuff. And then third, they're going to look into making citizenship maybe faster, smoother, and look into fixing up issues with the immigration system. So, you don't have to look into it. I've been doing this. You could just ask me. I have all the answers. I have all these shows and stuff. So that's why it's kind of dissatisfying seeing this, and that's why I don't like to come out here and do all these videos about what's going to happen, because until something actually happens, it's all just gossip, and this doesn't help anybody. But I wanted to let you know what the real situation is right now. And its way. Now, some potential positive news is there's a lot of people with fiancé visa cases. These are known as K-1 fiancé visa cases. Now, once the USCIS, Immigration Department, approves the first part, Form I-129F, to say this relationship is real, they moved the case to the embassy system so that the foreign applicant, foreign fiancé, could start the process for getting a K-1 visa. Now, because of COVID-19, there's been a stall where a lot of cases have been stuck at the National Visa Center, also known as the NVC for short. And these cases were not moving forward. There's been lawsuits on this, and the Mulligan lawsuit's the famous one. But one thing that happened today is I just got a bunch of emails from the National Visa Center saying they're transferring cases right now to Turkey, to Belgium, and to other places. So what's going on? Are they really loosening things up maybe? Is that a positive sign? Are they actually going to do the interview? We don't know. We'll see. But it seems like there's some movement happening. In general, it's good to have a president that doesn't hate immigrants and doesn't every day try to burn down the immigration system. So that's a huge positive. But with regard to what the news is about new laws coming, what the news laws are, I'm getting emails, texts, comments about this all day, every day. There's nothing new that could help you or change stuff. There's a thing about the public charge rule. The hope was that was going to be stopped, but they still haven't made a decision on that. The courts in the Ninth Circuit have said we're still going to keep it going. The Supreme Court may get another look at it, but that's not going to happen for many months. So there's no real changes happening right now. We'll have to see what's going on. Daniel Ortiz, public charge. Yeah, the public charge rule is still happening. There's no change. He said he'll think about it. But think about it doesn't help any of us who have to deal with the public charge rule. Hopefully it goes away, but for now, nothing. Now, that doesn't mean he's not going to do something, but he really easily could have changed some stuff up. I have specific things I like to change about citizenship, about adjustment of status, about consular processing. I love a lot of different kind of things to happen, but it hasn't been happening yet, and I'm not really optimistic. I take a conservative look at all this, Obama had 8 years to do something. He really didn't do anything. And Biden was there all that whole time. If it was that important for him, he would have done something then. They talk about this stuff to get the initial votes, maybe drag this along so that when the elections for the House of Representatives for Congress comes up, they could use this issue to get more votes potentially. But I'm not optimistic that too much stuff will happen. But hey, I hope I'm wrong, Muhammad says, I got my green card through my green card holder wife, and she will turn citizen next year. So I qualify for 3-year time frame? Thank you. No. To get the 3-year time frame for filing for citizenship instead of using the 5-year, you have to have been married and living with a U.S. citizen for the last 3 years. So if you're living and married to a green card holder for 3 years, then they become a citizen, that doesn't count. You gotta wait another 3 years of them having a citizenship for it to count. But at that point, it'll be 6 years. You could just do the regular, you pass the point of doing the regular 5-year green card. So essentially, to take advantage of the 3-year citizenship option, you have to be married to a U.S. citizen for the last 3 years. In your case, you've been married to a green card holder the last 3 years, even though you have your green card, so you wouldn't be able to take advantage of that special option. According to recent immigration bill, he said they will speed up the processing. So can you say how it's going to work, really, if it takes 7 years now, so it'll change? To fellow, anyone can say anything. I'm going to make everything snap a finger. How's that going to happen? So it's all garbage. And the reality is, to be able to speed things up with the immigration system we have now, they're gonna have to hire 10 times as many employees, and then they're gonna have to train those employees, and immigration is really complicated. It's not easy to train people on this kind of stuff. And to find people, where do you get the money for it, the fees are end up going up. So most of this stuff's not practical. Having said that, it's like, none of it makes any sense, Frank. So don't get caught up in this kind of stuff, what they say, see what they do. Aria says, if selected in the H-1B, can all the forms for H-1B, H-4, and H-4EAD filed at once? Yeah, you could do that. Once you're selecting H-1B and the lottery filing times for Form I-129 opens up, you could submit the additional ones with it, but they don't adjudicate them all at once anymore. So it used to be your H-1B, which is the primary person in the work visa, along with the spouse, the H-4 or the children, and the work permit for the spouse could be adjudicated all at once. They become jerks, they separate that, so they'll decide the H-1B, and then who knows when the H-4EAD are gonna happen. So that's a really annoying part about it that we're dealing with. Letitia asks, my husband had an interview in 1 year. I was short on income requirement, but I make over the requirements for 3 now. Is there any loophole for this? Nigeria is where he is and I am. If you're currently making enough income, that's enough. The problem when you're dealing with the U.S. Embassy in Nigeria is they can do whatever they want, and it's not going to be as friendly. I had a colleague post in one of our groups that they had a consultation with somebody who got denied for public charge for not having enough income, even though they kind of had enough income. So when you're dealing with the U.S. Embassy in Nigeria, all bets are off. However, if you make enough money income now, that technically is fine in most cases. Ifrat says, I applied for my husband for United States. How long the procedure take? Go to YouTube. I have a video on the JQK Law Firm page for YouTube that says how long, green card case, marriage green card, and that'll answer all the different variations of the questions you'll have about timelines. Mohammed asks, what does case ready to be scheduled for interview mean? Does it mean coming soon? No. When USCIS does their initial review of your application and they're satisfied, they'll update the USCIS.gov case status page, 70% of the time, and they'll say case ready to be scheduled for interview. That means they've done their initial check and they think it's okay, but you need to do an in-person meeting and interview most likely. And once they do that, there is no, doesn't mean anything with regards to timelines. They could schedule an interview with USCIS 5 days later or a year later, a year and a half later. I've seen it all happen, so it has no bearing or connection with the time. It can make us lived over 6 months outside the US in the last 5 years, lived 30 months US, can I still apply for citizenship? Please go to my YouTube page. I have a detailed video breaking down this situation. Just go to JQK Law Firm's YouTube page, type in citizenship, and one of the videos will come up. I just did it a month ago. It's like a 12-minute video breaking down exactly how the timelines are. I need too much more information to be able to answer your question here, but that video should be able to help you out. My wife and I have permanent resident card. Can we invite my mother-in-law to teenage sister-in-laws? There is no invitation, Masood, for someone coming here. Anyone who wants to come to visit the United States applies for a tourist visa, and they may get it or they may not get it, but there is no invitation. This is a concept that goes back many years that people keep repeating. There is no invitation. It's just they apply for a tourist visa, they may get it, probably won't, but they may get it. Give it a shot if you like. With that, I guess that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back again next Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time, live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, JQK Law, TikTok page, Immigration Lawyer John, all that. Hope to see you all soon, and I appreciate it. If you want to schedule a consultation, just email me at info@jqqlaw.com. I'm Immigration Lawyer John Khosravi. God bless, be safe. Talk soon. Bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed this educational video. We have a second channel with much more information as well at JQK Immigration Clips. Please check that out. Also, you'll find our social media site has a lot more videos, images, and information about the U.S. immigration process. Please check those out on the various social media websites.